the London terror attack on Friday, and at Blindness in the West. A man convicted of an Islamist plot to blow up the London Stock Exchange gets freed early from jail. He gets invited to a conference to promote rehabilitated prisoners, supposedly like him. But once there, he stabs and kills 2 people, one of them a volunteer, and both of them working to help ex-prisoners just like their killer. He then stabs other people too until he's finally tackled by heroic civilians and shot dead by police. Now, here's one example of blindness, a willful blindness that came with this event. Our ABC refused to mention a key fact about this man, Usman Khan, the fact that he was a Muslim, a jihadist. That was not mentioned once in at least 4 of its big reports on the attack, including a TV report that went on for more than 6 minutes. Not one mention of the ideology that apparently motivated this terrorist. Not a mention either of the Islamists who killed 8 people in the very same spot in 2017. No mention of their faith.
The offender is actually a convicted terrorist. This offender, that 2017 attack in the same area which saw 8 people die, the offender, this man, was a convicted terrorist.
Now, that is one part of our blindness, not wanting to see or to accept that some people do have religious beliefs, in this case is Islamic beliefs, that in their mind at least compel them to kill. Now, no argument. We are talking about a tiny minority of Muslims. The vast majority of Muslims are as horrified by this as me. They don't interpret the Quran like this man apparently did. But that does not excuse not acknowledging that there is in fact a significant difference, a telling difference between what the Quran preaches and what the Bible preaches, and that difference may influence how some misguided people act. Now, in this particular attack, there's another blindness, and it's related. It's a blindness to this. Islamist terrorists aren't just stupid people who can, with a little bit of punishment and some treatment, you know, de-radicalisation program or 2, see the error of their ways and come out all rehabilitated. Now, again, no doubt, some do. But naivety on this point can be very dangerous. Now, Attorney General Christian Porter today told Parliament that Australia had at least learned something over the years. It's this: many jihadists are not sorry, even when they're caught and even when they're punished. How can they be if they think God himself tells them to kill?
And that is a risk that our government has acted very swiftly and strongly on to counter, and that is the undeniably high risk that individuals who have undertaken violent terrorist acts exhibit a very high tendency to re-offend. The evidence of that phenomenon in Australia is undeniable. Of the 30 Australians who fought and trained with extremist groups in conflict zones between 1990 and 2010, including Pakistan and Afghanistan, 25 returned, and 8 of those were convicted of terrorist-related offences.
Now that is one reason why the government is still resisting calls by senior intelligence officials in the US, who are again today in the Herald Sun wanting us to take back up to 20 Australians who fought for the Islamic State and are now in prisons in Syria, Turkey and Iraq. Now, we are talking here about people such as Majid Rad, who went to the Islamic State in Syria after a court in Victoria had found him not guilty of being in a terrorist plot, where others he knew were jailed. Now, you would have thought he'd learned from that, but not at all. And the Attorney-General today said the government is now trying to change the law to stop exactly what we've just seen in London. Jihadists let free from jail far too soon under this blind presumption that they're rehabilitated.
The government bill ensures that anyone who has links with terrorists, who has shown support for other terrorist activities, will have a standing presumption against bail for other Commonwealth offences, and they will not be released on parole unless there are absolutely demonstrable exceptional circumstances.
Now, you know what I think has happened here, in part? So many people now in the political and journalist type of class of people, they're not religious themselves. And they can't comprehend how other people, serious people, can believe in a God and act as they think their God tells them. But we're sure waking up now, aren't we?